Quick, and then I'm gonna get onto the footage. I think y'all really should see this. Last week I was covering India Arie, right? And nobody took any interest to it, so I took the videos down. But for the few of y'all that did see that video, y'all know what that video contained. It contained a portion of that video where Joe Rogan and his ongoing battle with Spotify, whatever that may be, to whatever degree of measurement and capacity, right? She had set up almost a segue of clips from the past couple of years, more spanning 10, 12 years. If you go by Joe Rogan's admission, I don't know, of him saying the N-word. And I was bothered by that. But evidently there were some other people that were bothered by that too. And that happens to be a whole bunch of Joe Rogan supporters. See, a lot of them that went over there. This is why I told y'all from the beginning, it needed to be supporting India Arie, because of this reason I knew I was going to come. And I try to tell y'all all the time, you got a lot of blacks and Latinos out here trying to tell you how white people are, and they never lived around white people a day in their life. I grew up around these folks. I know how they move. I know how they act. I still live around them. I know how they move. I know how they act. I know how they react to things. And just like I knew, you would have a whole bunch of Wahoo extremists come over to her page, and they're now threatening India Arie. They telling India Arie what they might do to her, whatever the case may be. I went over there and added my own contribution, and I tagged her in, and I said, yo, anything you need, you got it. You know what I'm saying? That means, you know what I mean? Because that's holding it down. What I saw was, and what disturbed me more so was this symbolic thing. Because see, India Arie is a symbolic woman, you know what I mean? She uses euphoric instruments and stuff like that, euphonic or euphoric, whatever. And those meaning like things that sound like a glass ring or whatever the case may be, if you don't know what that means. But it's just sad that they were all like, right on, sister, your own sister, but nobody was talking about, yo, you need know. Nobody was asking that. And that's what you need in a war like that. Because see, these men that are saying this stuff to her, that's where they coming from. So you can't be glass and trying to meet up with a hammer. Doesn't make any sense. You glass, this is a hammer. Here's the footage. And then I read, before I go one more, I meant every word that I said. Whatever you need, high caliber, whatever. And you guys out there, y'all need to stop with right on sister and all that shit right there. Man, put your man chest on.
Good morning. I want to clear some things up. First of all, this conversation about Spotify, Joe Rogan, me, is not about Spotify or Joe Rogan. It's about my integrity. It's about being who I am inside, aligning with who I am outside. And it's about my dignity, not allowing anyone to belittle me. I'm not trying to attack anyone. What I'm doing is standing up for myself. That's first of all. And I think what's really interesting is how violently some of these trolls are responding to a person just standing up for themselves. Okay. So I want to address the different contingencies of people on this page, the people who follow me, the people who are on the fence and are wondering what I'm saying, and the trolls too. Not that the trolls would get this far, but I'm going to address them too because of my integrity. So, number one, the writer Roxanne Gay brought something to light for me that I want to make sure that I express. People who are talking about censorship and censoring of him, censorship is being at the threat of loss of life or freedom for your words. No one's being censored here. She said, this is not censorship. This is about curation. Curation meaning choosing what you want in a space, choosing the space you want around you. Curation. This is not about censorship. This is about curation. And so Spotify is making a choice about the space they choose to curate. I and other creators are making choices about the space we want to curate, the life we want to curate, by choosing spaces we want to be in or not. So using the word censorship is not appropriate because it's not true. So I don't believe in censorship. No one's being censored here. So there's that. 2, I don't believe in cancel culture. What I know is that people garner love or hate based on how they act. And the reason why I don't believe in cancel culture is because no one is universally loved or hated. Joe Rogan can leave Spotify today and someone else will want him. No, you can't cancel. You can't actually cancel someone. You can curate a space. So again, this is not about cancel culture. It's about curation. 3rd, to be very clear, I never called him a racist. What I did in the curation of my space is say, I don't like this here. I don't want to be here. Anyone who saw those videos and decided for themselves if he was racist or not, that's their perception. I think he did well with his apology. I also found some of it disingenuous, because everyone on the planet knows that that word is loaded, and that's why most people say the N-word when referring to the word. And so you choosing not to say the N-word is at best an edgy choice. You can be edgy, you can be a comedian, you can push the envelope, but also you must deal with the consequences of the language, thereby curating your own life. If you expect people to just accept it, it's not going to happen. So you're going to have to deal. And that's what is happening now. He has to deal. But he's not being canceled, censored, and I have not called him racist. I'm sure other people have, because I see how they see it as racist. What I'm sitting with here is that I think he didn't see it as racist. Why would he be outwardly racist when he's part of the comedy community, which is the greatest comics are black? The current greatest comic in the world is black. Why would he want to outwardly be racist? Whether or not he is in his heart, I don't know. But I don't think he intended to be racist. I think he intended to be edgy. And he knew he was doing it. So that part of it, his apology for me was disingenuous. But I heard him. And what I loved about his apology is when he said, "It's not my word to use." Because that's exactly right. It's not his word to use. And I know there is an ongoing conversation, especially with people who feel like they are entitled to use the word, about, well, black people say it and they say it in the music. I get that. And I'm not going to explain that to you here, because this is not a safe space for that conversation. But whether it's healthy for the black community to use it or not, here we are in what culture is completely healthy. All cultures have their pains and their cultural pain and their heaviness and their things that they do right and the things that they do wrong around race, around women, around children, around sex, around money. All cultures have that. So there's this complicated conversation around race in America, equally as complicated around the word. But it is not a non-black person's word to use anymore. Lastly, I want to say what I said first. Just to be clear, my conversation is not about Joe Rogan. It is not about Spotify. It is about my integrity and my dignity. And that's all I have to say about it for now.